Well, hi everyone. If you joined me in my last video, you saw the beginning or part one of my 2025 Crystal's Life Planner setup. And if you haven't seen that video yet, you might want to go take a look at that one first. I will leave the link up above and in the description down below. And when you're finished over there, come on back because I have even more to show you today. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, let's get started. All right, I am really excited about getting this, basic setup set up today. And I also want to change my background from green to my new color. So let's get started at the computer and we'll talk about all that fun stuff as we go along. Okay. All right. So here on my computer, you see I have a basic monthly dashboard that I usually use set up here. But what I want to do first is I want to talk about this notebook background. Last year in 2024, I used this green color that you see here, and I want to show you how I'm going to change that. This year, I'm going to go with another beautiful nature color. I'm going to try navy to start out with. Remember, I was looking for kind of a neutral color that would go with all my stickers and everything. I think navy blue will work. So let's take a look at that and see what we think. All right, let's jump over to PowerPoint. And here in PowerPoint, you can see this is a file that I use a lot. There's all kinds of designs and diagrams and things in here. But what I want to do today is I want to look at this screen right here, which is my notebook background that I've used in the past. Again, there's a video of exactly how to do it step by step, slow and steady, so you guys can follow along and create your own. Today, all I want to do on this particular one is I want to change the background color, okay? I'm going to keep this slide, but what I want to do is come over here and say duplicate the slide. It will then make an exact copy of it. So now I have slide 13 is there and slide 14 is there. So if I go in and make changes, I'm not going to lose that original green color. All right, so really what this is a series of curved shapes layered on top of each other. And again, I talked about that in the video. So what I want to do is I just want to go in here to this particular background shape that we have here, and I am going to change the fill color. So I'm going up here to Shape Fill, and I'm going to click that drop down menu, and you see there are all kinds of different colors here, and as I hover over those colors, they change, and you get an idea of what the background is going to look like, okay? If I choose not to use any of these colors, I can use some of the standard colors that are down here. That blue is pretty, but it's very bright and vibrant. I wasn't really looking for something that bright. And then we start moving into a dark blue or a purple look. Again, that's too much for me. So I want to go down here to more fill colors. And here for the custom colors, again, I could click around and find exactly the color that I wanted, or I could type in a hex code down here at the bottom if I wanted to, but I just want to see what some of their standard colors look like, okay? So I'm going to look up here in the blue range, and I think that one's a little too bright. I'm looking for like a deep navy blue kind of color. Again, that one's really bright. That one's even lighter. I'm thinking that I like either that one or this one, all right? I think I'm gonna go with this one and see what that looks like. So I'll say okay. And then we have our dark blue background. All right, so in looking at that, what I wanted to do is I wanna look at some of my favorite stickers and see how they will work with that. So let's go back to OneNote. And we're going to look in my personal notebook, which is where most of my stickers are. And we're going to find, well, like some of these book stickers are cool, or I have some florals, pink and blue florals. Let's see how those look. Let's make a copy of one of those, and we will take it back into PowerPoint. And if we paste it on there, we will get an idea of how that's going to look. okay? This might be a little too bright for what I'm looking for. Let's try that eyedropper tool. Let's do this. Let's select this background again. Let's go over here to the shape fill, and let's go down to the eyedropper and see if we can't pick one of these. I think that the difference is these have a little bit more gray in them, so they're more of a blue gray. That one looks almost black. Maybe something like that. It's kind of a nice navy blue, kind of a grayish neutral navy blue. Let's try that one. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this flower. And then if I want to take it back and use it in my notebook, what I need to do is I need to go up here and select everything. So you see I'm selecting the entire slide, and it is including the spiral and everything. So I have all of those, the background, the page, and the spiral all selected. I can say copy, and then I can go back into OneNote, and let's go back to my 2025 notebook. And I'm going to paste over here on the side, and I'm going to just say paste as a picture. And you can see that I'm going to need to make that a little bit bigger to kind of match the size that I have here, maybe even a little bit bigger. That would be okay. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. This background, this green notebook is already set as the background. So I need to click on that green notebook and undo the set picture as background. Now you see it has, move this out of the way so you can see a little bit better. Now you see this has this dashed and dotted line around it. So I can simply cut that old one away, and then I can move this new one into place, set the picture as the background, and there you see everything is right where it should be, okay? Now, I can take a look at this and tweak it. So let me zoom in so I can get a good close-up. Those top ones look fine. This looks like it needs to move over a little bit because I did make my page a little bit bigger. And the reason that I did that is because some of the Franklin Planner pages are a little bit longer, a little bit wider. So I want to make sure that I have room for everything on here. Okay. And that is actually looking okay. I can make it a little bit bigger if I want to incorporate. So let's take the background off again so that I can manipulate it to get these last couple of spaces in down here. And we'll make it, well, it doesn't need to be that big, does it? We will make it that big. Actually, we can take this last one out because no month has more than 31 days. At least not yet. So we can make it just like that. And then I can go back, set that picture as the background, and then I can get everything else organized the way that it needs to be on the page. All right, so like so, okay? So now I have all of my links here for my daily pages. I have all of my links across the top for my inbox, my health and habits, all that kind of stuff, all the way down to my weeks and all of that. And I still have room here if I wanted to add an additional link, okay? So let's say I did want to add a link. I can show you how to do that. Let's see, what might I want to add a link to? I already have my books, I have my Google Calendar, I have my Crystal Clear Life. Maybe I want to add a link to my stickers. I don't know. I'm going to create a new sticker notebook this year. But what I can do is I can come anywhere in my line, because really this is just a table, and I can go up to table and I can say insert, and I want to insert another column, and I'm going to do it to the right-hand side. So insert another column. That now then gives me a blank space where I could write, you know, if I want to do stickers, okay, I could do that. And now to get this formatting the same, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to go up here to my home menu and do the brush painter, and then I'm going to brush paint. Oops. I'm going to brush paint, sticker, and you see that it comes up the same color, okay? All right, so that's how you would add another link up there at the top if you wanted to, okay? Then I would have to go to my sticker page and copy a link to that. So let me show you how to do that. Let's say I wanted to go back to my personal notebook, and let's say, for example, I just wanted to use this section, okay? So I could copy a link to this section, and now that is copied, and I'm going to go back to 2025, and I'm going to highlight stick. Let's see, and I will insert a link, and it will say, you know, what do you want it to say? Well, let's fix this. Let's do it in all caps like the rest of it. And I'm going to paste in that address that we just copied to that section, and I'm going to say okay. Okay, now I have another link here that says sticker, and when I click on that, it will take me to my sticker section of my notebook, and then I can travel to any page that I might want to travel to. Okay, all right, so that's pretty good. I like that. I wanted to show you how to add those links at the top because I know lots of you are interested in that. Okay. Now, also, you see that it made everything a little bit bigger here. It kind of stacked things. That's because my container is constraining those links. To fix that, all I need to do is go up here to my container and make it a little bit longer. I can make it the width of the top of the page, and then that straightens everything out across the top. Okay? All right, so this page is looking pretty good. I am liking this background color. I think it looks okay. And like I said, you know, if I want to change this color partway through, I can do that. It's not a big deal. You saw how simple and easy it was to change, okay? All right, so now to get all the rest of the days set up, what I am going to need to do is I'm going to need to copy that same thing. Copy the same thing from PowerPoint. So I'm going to do Control C to copy everything, and then we will go back and take it into OneNote. And let's look at our monthly inbox, okay? And here you can see my monthly inbox for the month of December is still that green color. So again, to review, I'm going to set the picture as background, turn it off, okay? And then I am going to paste the current picture there that I just made in PowerPoint. I can make it about the same size. Then I can go up here and delete this one. That will move this one up into place. Okay, and then I have all of my things down here that I can bring back up once I get this into place. I like to have my title of my page on my actual notebook page. So that's what I'm doing there. See the title of the page? It says monthly inbox. I'm going to cover that up, and I'm going to let my tabs kind of sit right at the top up there. Okay. And let's zoom in so you can see how that looks. I can even take it a little higher if I want. I'm going to hold down my Alt key, and I'm going to make very small movements and get those tabs to sit right there on the top, just like that. Okay. Once I have it the way that I want it, I then go set the picture as the background. That takes those dashed lines away. Then I can grab all of my goodies from down here. Actually, I don't need this link anymore, and I don't need this sticker or these stickers anymore. So all I can do now is I can grab all of this all the way down, and that highlights everything, and then I can just move it up, 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 up we go, until it gets up on the page, and then I can position it approximately where I want it, okay? And then if I want to finagle with individual containers, I can do that, like this one here. I can then position him exactly where I want it. And taking a look at that, that looks okay. I don't want it on the page, I want it just off. All right. That's okay. Just like that. All right. Let's see. And then I have my monthly inbox already set with all my customized tags, my December notes. It should just be, I'm just going to say month, because remember what I'm doing here is I am setting up a monthly overview so that I can copy it from month to month. And then I will change the month name here. So January, February, etc. Okay. All right. So there's my inbox. And here's my dashboard that we got set up. Remember, I'll replace this calendar with whatever calendar I use for the month. Health and habits. This is my health and habits from December. I wanted to remind you to show you that if you're writing on it and you need to clean that up, you can simply grab your eraser. You know, if you're using a stylus or an Apple Pencil or something like that, and you can delete that information. And I'm also going to go down here and delete my cute gingerbread. Man, I love these stickers. My daughter made these stickers for me as a Christmas present. I think they're absolutely adorable. She's made me a spring set in the past, so I'm hoping maybe I'll get another summer set or some beautiful fall leaves or something like that. That would be really nice. That's a great gift. I love that kind of gift. So I know that this is a page that I'm going to need to change at some point. That was on one of my to-dos, but for now, I'm just going to leave it. I'm simply going to change that background again. So I'm going to speed it up because you've seen me do this twice now. So here we go. All right, and set the picture as the background so nothing moves, and there you go. All right, so I think this is going to work out pretty good. What I wanted to share with you next is the weeks that I've been using this kind of layout has worked very well for me. I come and I plug in the main focus of the week, any projects that I need to work on, prayers for people, main things to do, people I need to communicate with, all that kind of grouped together in kind of the GTD style for the week. And then down here, I also have, you know, the outlines of the things that I know that I have coming up, different appointments or, you know, that kind of thing. So that has worked out pretty good. So I'm not going to mess with these pages design-wise. I'm just going to go in and change the background and clean them up. I'll do that off camera because you don't need to see all of that. What I do want to do is change a few things on this Franklin Planner page. You can see here that I have this entire Franklin Planner all in one container, and it's really small tables nested inside of a bigger table. If you'd like to watch the video on how I do that, again, I'll leave it below. But right now I'm going to go and tweak it and let me show you what that's going to look like. Okay. So here is my Franklin Planner template. And like I said, I've turned all the borders on so that you can see that this is a large 4-column table and it has smaller tables nested inside of it, okay? Before I use it, I'm going to turn those rule lines off so that they go away and it looks much cleaner. But I have some things marked on here that I wanted to fix, okay? One of the things that I already fixed for this month is I already fixed the calendars. These calendars here, I went ahead and chose a blue that will kind of go with the blue background that I'm going to be using. So I went ahead and put those calendars in. And again, they are, let me see if I can turn the borders on for you. So I'd have this calendar just kind of floating here as a graphic, and then I have a 2-column table underneath of it with the 2 smaller calendars kind of keeping it corralled in that spot. But when I take those borders away from this small one here as well, you can see they look more like they're just floating, which is really the look that I like. So I like those small calendars the way they look. I have some other things listed on here in red that you might notice that's standing out. One is the Franklin Planner, because it's a 2-page planner that lays flat on your desk. One side has the date and the day of the week, and the other side, which is where your notes are, also has the date and the day of the week. But because mine is all together in one place, I feel like this is redundant information. So I actually want to take this part out. I don't think that I need to have that date listed again. So I'm going to do that, and that's going to move my notes section up and give me a lot more space down here for my notes, okay? But I also was noticing that this section down here, this is kind of a reminder for what you're supposed to do for daily planning. You're supposed to check your daily appointments. You're supposed to make a realistic list of tasks that you're supposed to do and then prioritize ABC. The weekly planning has more to do with the weekly compass, which means reviewing your roles and your jobs and things that you have to do, choosing your big rocks or those important things that you need to do, and then scheduling those into your week, okay? So what I want to do down here is I want to take this part about the weekly planning that is in red, and since it is related more to this weekly compass, what I want to do is I want to cut that part out, and I'm going to go over here into this cell underneath of my weekly compass, and I'm going to paste that here. Okay, now I want the font not to be red, so I'm going to turn it back to black like so, and I think that will help keep the page balanced, and it will fit better on my page with what I'm doing. Well, if I want to week, I can either center this, so push it to the middle, or I could align it all the way to the right, and that would give me a nice space in here for decor. And actually, I think that's how I'm going to leave it to start with. So I'll have a nice big place in here for decor. I'll have another space over here for decor. I have a space up here for decor, and I can put some decor up here as well. Okay, so I think all of that is great. Now, the other thing that I wanted to change on this page, and really I'm just trying to tweak the Franklin Planner page to make it work perfectly for me in OneNote, okay? What I want to do over here is they have a place for you to use this little checklist. So if your item, so for example, the most important thing to do every day is to plan, okay? And if your item is complete, you can put the check mark for complete. If it's forwarded, meaning maybe you were sick and you didn't do it that day and you're just going to forward it to the next day. If it was deleted, if it was a meeting that was coming up that was canceled, you can delete that. If it was delegated to somebody else, you could use this and say, okay, I'm working with someone else on this. Or if it's in progress, you got started on it for the day, but you didn't get a chance to finish it, you could put that it's in progress and then move it forward the next day, okay? So those work for me for some things, but because I am working in OneNote, I have all of these customized tags that I love to use, and all of these tags are listed right up here. And I have talked about them before. I have many, many, many videos on my tags. But what I want to be able to do in the new year is I want to incorporate the use of these tags in my prioritized daily tasks, okay? So for example, if I know that somebody's birthday is coming up and it's the beginning of the month and I want to make sure that I have a birthday card for someone, what I might do is I might come down here and say, birthday card for Sharon, okay? And then what I want to do for that is I want to add a tag to that, okay? So I'm going to come here and click somewhere on, it doesn't matter where, on what I have written, and I'm going to go up to my tags. And this is actually going to be a to buy item because I don't have a card for her yet. So I'm going to find my to buy tag, and I'm going to make a check mark here, a little box that I use that says to buy. All right. Then when I go to look at all the things that I need to buy and create my shopping list, all of these things will automatically come up. Okay. Then once I buy Sharon's card, I can go back in here and click that checkbox. And then I know that that is finished. Okay. Now, for the month of January, I am going to leave this area over here so that I can still use these symbols, because not everything is going to have a tag, okay? I could put, I guess, a health and fitness tag on walking, or I could make it, an action item. I don't know. But at the moment, it's kind of part of my routine. So I just want to leave that as a routine. And so I'm going to leave that as a routine, and I'm going to leave this space over here where I can actually add these particular symbols if I want to, or if it's something that's going to have a tag, there'll be no symbol there, but that will be okay. I'll just leave that space blank. Okay? All right, so I'm going to take the word tags out. And for now, I'm going to take out this birthday card because I've showed you guys what that looks like and how I'm going to be using the tags in the month of January. Okay? All right. All of that is to say that I want to get this to be as clean as possible so that I can start using this as my, on my daily pages, on my backgrounds. Okay? All right. And again, I apologize if you can hear my kitty cat snoring. She's laying right beside me as usual, and she's sound asleep. All right, so taking one last look at this, I wish that you were able to talk with me, because I always feel like when I do this that there's some error and somebody as sitting there at home screaming into their device saying, check week 3, that doesn't line up. All right. Okay, let's just give one number. And I know that January starts on a Wednesday this year. And to be honest with you, I really don't need to have the day of the week there, but I kind of like it, so I'm going to do that. I think that I also might start incorporating some daily tasks that I do, because I kind of do some things on a routine basis. So I might start incorporating that, but that might not be until February. We'll see. Okay. All right. I think this is looking pretty good. I want to bold this like that is bolded. I want to bold this like that is bolded, 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 and bolded. Weekly Compass is already bolded. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's see. Let me just double check the font. That's a 12. That's 11. Let me do this. I am going to highlight this, use my format painter, and then I'm going to paint that so it's the same, but I do want it centered. And then I'm going to grab that format painter again, and I'm going to do this. So that's now 12. 11 is okay for these because they're small. They're not really, they're just kind of there for reference. So I'm okay with that. And I think that looks good. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to highlight the whole thing, and I'm going to copy that page. All right. I could save this as a page template, and I could say every time I create a new page, use this as my template. I showed you how to do that in the last video, but because I already have all of my pages and my links set up for the month, I am not going to do that. I simply want to come in here, and you see how this box is highlighted. All of this is in that one big container. I am going to highlight that box, and I'm going to say Control V, and what that's going to do is it's going to replace that big container with my new formatted container. And so you can see here the weekly planning is split out from the daily planning, and I will just need to change my month up here. I don't even really need to do that unless I want to do it as part of decor, because January is already written there. Okay. All right. Cookies make everything better. That is true. All right. The secret ingredient is always love. Love those. All right, so what I will still need to do on this page is come in and change the background of the planner. That's something that I can do while I'm sitting and, watching TV or something like that. Listening to music, something like that. I can go through and change those. So I'm not really worried about that right now. But I wanted to show you again a quick way to do that. So I'm going to come in and just highlight the entire thing that I have. And I'm going to do Control V. And you see, let's get rid of December. Get rid of December. And then that whole thing is right there and right in place, okay? So then I can come in here, and this will no longer be the first, it will be the second, and it will be a Thursday, okay? And because I took out that other date over here, I don't have to change that one as well, all right? Let me show you one more time. Get my page to fit, okay? And I'm gonna highlight that whole thing, and Control V, and it puts the new one in there, and I change the 1 to a 3, and now I'm on Friday, and I'm ready to go, okay? So the first week for me is ready to go because it starts on a Wednesday. Now, I got 2 more days to do to get this week finished, so we're gonna do this one, Control V, so you can see it, and that will be 4, and that is a Saturday. And bump down here, and this will be day 5, and that is a Sunday. Okay? All right. Because I like my weeks to start on a Monday. That's just the way that I do it. So I'm going to move week 1 up here to the very top because week 1 will have 5 days in it, and then week 2 will come up here and be starting on the 6th, okay? And then the 13th, so week 3 will come up above the 13th. Week 4 will come up above the 20th. Week 5, and again, I'm just grabbing this, holding down my mouse, and moving it, following that black line, and then leaving that week where it belongs, okay? And then week 5 will encompass all of that. I don't need a week 6 for January, but week 1 is already set up. So off camera, because you don't need to watch me do all 30 pages or 31 pages, I will go ahead and do this exact same thing. All of these links still work. So if I click on day 1, it takes me back to day 1 that we just did together. If I go to day 3, this is day 3 that we just did together. If I go to day 16, which we have not worked on yet, you still see that I'm in my December setup that I haven't changed yet, but I'm still in that current month in this particular notebook, okay? So now this is going to become my standard month once I get it all set up, and I will go up here and I will change this to, I will rename it Basic Month, meaning it is the basic stuff that I need to, create a month for myself. And when I get it perfect and exactly the way I want it, I will come in here and I will say, copy this whole section, and I will rename it January, okay? All right. I'm not quite ready to do that yet because I still have a little bit of cleanup to do. I still have those other pages, those other daily pages that I need to get fixed, okay? And I also need to go down here and I need to clean up some of this other stuff. So I have down here some weekly pages that I've carried forward, time and time again, and they're okay. I'll leave those in there. I have some notes in here. It's just a blank notes page that I like to keep in case I need to write something down. But once you move past that notes page, you start to see duplicates of my holiday overview. I don't need that anymore in here. That can go away. So I'm going to delete that. And my weekly checklist, again, which was part of my holiday planning starting back in November, and what I was going to do for each week to get ready for Christmas. I don't need that. I can get rid of that. I can get rid of my wish list for 2024, you know, kind of my a bucket list kind of thing. I can get rid of my baking plan and my time to decorate. I can get rid of all of those simply by highlighting and hit delete. Now, they're not gone forever. Remember, this is a copy of things that I had from my 2024 notebook. So if I need them, they're still in 2024. I haven't lost them forever, okay? This was a recipe for praline crunch. I don't think I need that anymore. I don't need the stuff for church planning. I really don't even need my 2025 planner ideas. Especially not in this section. You know what I can do? I can grab that page, my 2025 planner ideas. Let's take that to year long. So I'm going to drag that up here to year long, and I'm going to put it in there. And then when I come to year long stuff and I start thinking about maybe what I need for my 2026 planner, I'll already have some ideas started for what I want to have in my 2026 planner. Okay? All right, then I've got some other things like packing notes. That can go away. I don't need those anymore. These were all the stickers that my daughter gave me. Aren't they adorable? We have cats at our house, so there's cats in boxes and baking items, and she drew all these by hand. I don't get how she can do that. I don't know where that talent came from. Certainly didn't come from me. Anyway, I'm going to move that back to my sticker set. So that's going to go all the way back over here in my personal notebook. And in my sticker section. And I'm going to move that because I don't need it here. I can just move it back over there. It's like pulling files out of a file folder, using them for a while, and then sticking them back in the filing cabinet where they belong. Let's see, down here at the bottom, I know there's a bunch of other stuff too. Trip calendar for Wilmington, confirmation information on our Airbnb. We don't need any of that. So let's get rid of all of these, shift, and we will delete all of these. And that was one that I made, a page that I made for a video about what planners I was going to be using for 2025. I can delete that. I don't need that either. And I can delete that little story that I was writing. And church planning I can leave in there. This I don't need, so I can get rid of that. And then we're back to that praline crunch. I can't decide if I want to make that or not. That might be like good, you know, Super Bowl food or something like that. Maybe I'll just let that hang around for a little while before I move it back into my recipe notebook. Okay? All right, so it looks like I have a pretty good set. I have my dailies, I have my weeklies, I have my goals in here that I can update per month. I have my personal meal planner, which I use all the time. I have my health and habits, and they're kind of already set up for the month. Dashboard set up for the month, and my inbox is set up for the month. So really all I need to do off camera is go through and change that green to blue, which probably really wouldn't even make a difference in most cases. But I just like to change things up for now and then. And, you know, it kind of is fun to go through and do all that playing, okay? All right, so at this point, if I were finished, what I would do is I would come up here to Basic Month. I would right-click and I would say, Move or Copy. And it would say, where do you want to move it to, right? And I would say my 2025 notebook right here, and it would make a duplicate copy. And it would then say Basic Month 2. And I would rename that January, and I would go in and put the names of the month of January. I would, you know, change whatever colors I wanted of text to match my stickers, whatever I decide to use for January. But that'll be another video. I just want to get it functional. I'll worry about getting it pretty later, okay? All right, so let's cancel this for now. Well, I hope this has been helpful for you to see how I change the background color, change those basic page templates for the everyday pages and copy them into place. You can do that same kind of thing with your weeklies. Let's say you want to make a different weekly, other than what I have here. You want to use, let's say, well, I have all these others. Let me show you. I have a bunch of other weeklies down here. Here's one that is actually a weekly into a daily. Here's one that is your areas of focus. So I have my areas of focus across the top, things that I like to do every day, and then my actual schedule down here at the bottom. Might want to use that one again. Maybe I have one, this is one for students, for what their extra areas of focus might be, the classes that they're taking, things they need to do every day, and then how to work that into their schedule. I also have a blank weekly dashboard. I created this one years ago and I love it. It has days of the week over here for meal planning, and then tasks that I do every day, and then appointments that I do every day. And then again, some of my GTD stuff, my top 3 things to do, what projects I'm working on, what communication I need to do, calls, cards, text and emails, things I'm waiting on, prayers for people, expenses, my morning routine, my evening routine. And let me just tell you, I know that I created this one a long, long time ago, but I actually love this layout. I think it works really, really well as a weekly layout. If you're somebody that's just doing weekly planning, this would be one that I would recommend because, it really has everything in one spot, and I love that. Okay? All right. Well, I'm also thinking about creating a faith planner that's kind of, along this same dashboard idea, only with a little bit more faith-related things in it. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Leave me a comment and say, yeah, we'd like to see, the faith planner or some praying hands or an open book emoji or something like that to let me know what you're interested in seeing. Okay? All right. Well, I have rattled on enough. I apologize for the long videos, but setting up takes a long, long time. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit and going on this process with me. I know sometimes it may look intimidating, but I want to remind you again that in 2024, I have a playlist that I took all of these things that I did really quickly today, and I broke them out into individual videos so that if you want to go back and say, wait a minute, how did she create that dashboard? There's a video for that in the 2024 setup. Today, I wanted to just kind of quickly finish up so that I could get started using my planner, and I could refer you back to those videos from last year if you would like. Okay? All right. Well, until next time, here's hoping that you have a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time. Okay. Bye.